Sure. Tyagaraja is known for very strong, succinct compositions. As you just mentioned, his songs need not be so heavy in terms of sahitya, and he's known for simplicity and for just bring out the best in just one or two lines of in his concerts. Most of his compositions are pretty short, but they would have the effect of any other composition that would try to do the same thing being long. So that is it's sort of very succinct and very precise, and it does what it has to. That is Tyagaraja's style. Deekshithar, on the other hand, has a lot of most of his, of course, the language difference is one thing. Tyagaraja is in Telugu and Deekshithar is going to be in Sanskrit. So a lot of Deekshithar's songs are known for having the Samashruti Charanas, which means they don't have a charanam as such. It's just a Pallavi and the Samashruti Charanam, which is so-called, instead of the Pallavi and a Pallavi Charanam as the usual three-para structure. Deekshithar just has a Pallavi and a Samashruti Charanam, which is just two paragraphs for the whole song. And he is known for a lot of, because it's in Sanskrit, it is more similar. A lot of his compositions have a lot of extracts from Vedic scripts and a lot of other, because when we talk of Sanskrit, all the Vedas are in Sanskrit, so a lot of it is taken and they have that kind of value. Of course, Deekshithar has also made krithis with Pallavi and Charanam and really long krithis that are really popular. So that is probably one different. And of course, Deekshithar played the Veena, is what I know.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But I don't know what Veena that is, but I've seen the pictures, so Deekshithar usually has the Veena with him on that. Shyama Sastri he was, of course, he has this kingdom sort of origin. He was, I don't know if he was a king or if he was a prince or if he was one big musician of the king. So I think he has that kind of an origin and that kind of a background. So he's a very learned and a very a great scholar who had a great life and a comfortable life compared to Tyagaraja, of course. And so most of his songs are more about praising, I would say, Ambar. So most of his songs are in praise of that deity. So they are again, Shyama Sastri is known for very complicated structures. Most of his krithis they start at different points. It need not be from the sound, it need not be from the beat. It could be from after the beat or before the beat. It could be placed anywhere in the tala structure and could be as complicated as it is. But his sahitya has so much depth to it, and to learn Shyama Sastri's krithis and swarajatis is a real. It's not as easy as learning any of the other krithis. So Shyama Sastri is known for extreme praise of goddess Durga and that kind of. And I think he was a king in those days. So that is more his kind of. I would imagine Shyama Sastri probably singing in one of his puja rooms.
Some grand opulent setting.
Yeah, with the most complicated sahitya and whatever you could do with, it's one of those most skilled composers. I wouldn't say composers, one of those devotees. I won't say meant for Veena, but it is different. Learning, of course, because of the styles itself, but when you play Deekshithar Kriti on the Veena, it's different. I would say it's different. Tyagaraja maybe more on the vocals. I mean, you sing Tyagaraja's Kirtana. It's more about that outcry in him that comes out in his Kirtana, so that is good. Deekshithar is more, maybe it is, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased towards it, but I would definitely enjoy Deekshithar. And Shyama Sastri, of course, because it's a challenge to learn Kriti. So that is something that I'd always enjoy. It takes a while to learn Kriti. And whereas this definitely has. Each of them have their own merits and values to it. So music in these periods, so Ariyakudi-Ramanuja, their time or those kind. So that was a time we could probably say 20th century or early 1900s or maybe late 1800s. So that was a time when probably Carnatic music was still at its peak, and there were a lot of rasikas to it, and concerts were 3-4 hours long, and they had so their style was very orthodox. So speaking of that, we cannot define what is orthodox music or authentic music. It's just what they did, and because they were our previous ancestors, we considered that as referencing music. Well, that being said, what was more characteristic of the music was that it was more bold, and it was more about the content in the music. It might not be, if you listen to today's artists, they could have a very beautiful voice, and they could have a very melodious and a very happy or enlightening, a very pleasant impact. Those artists, the music might not be pleasant, but it is the most purest form of music, and it is as it was composed. They are known for their bold, out-throated singing, and the content of the music is extremely high, and it's of very great standards, and something that maybe people, if we listen to these kind of concerts today, people do have those kind of concerts as well, but on a general basis, if you listen to a good concert, people will want to listen to more melodious, so called Janaranjagam kind of music, that is even more soothing and pleasing to the ears. That's what people maybe like today. So people today still will definitely want to listen to that kind of music. There could be some times when we like that music, some times when we want to listen to this kind of music. That's probably the kind of change. So today we look at all the artists today. They have a different, for outreach, and maybe it's got a lot of things have changed along with music. Music reflects probably the minds of the people, and the general mindset of people has changed over the years. So maybe at that time, they wanted deep music. So it was like that. Today people will enjoy this. So at the end of the day, we are all human beings as well. So we will resonate whatever is the general mood of people. So today we enjoy this kind of music. All the song is same. We probably have more polished, sophisticated kind of music today. We have 1 million instruments and so many forms of music that are coming together, and people trying to do different things. I don't know if people in classical music, I don't know if a classical musician even ventured into Western music in that time, but today people can do that. They try to play anything. So maybe it's more of a freedom, or whatever you call it. It has its own differences and I think values and plus and minus to it.
Wow.
So one very striking aspect that I see is people do not get out of the concerts unless the concert finishes. In the US, we could say several reasons in favor of it, saying that very few concerts and people really want to listen to concerts, so they come, and most of the time it's going to be invited audience if it's an unengaged one or any such. So people actually are completely here for the concert, so they're here for the entire 2 or 3 hours. But to someone who is not into Carnatic music at all, who is not of any Indian origin, and to a completely third person, they do come here and then do full justice to the entire concert. If it's 2 hours, 3 hours, they're going to be here for the whole time.
That's amazing.
And then it's going to move on. I've never seen anybody walk out of a concert.
That's amazing.
Of course, in India, we know it's just omnipresent. So music is there everywhere. We could walk in, walk out anytime. But maybe that's probably the difference. Other than that, I don't see, and it's good, and I'm happy that I don't see. A whole concert has not been funny to me. There have been, of course, unexpected is always it's always an integral part of any concert, and in general any performance as well. So there are a lot of unexpected elements to it, because a lot of the concert itself is not planned. I mean, it is planned, but not exactly planned to each and every sort of it. We have the Manu Karma factor that the artist will try to bring about when they perform in that particular concert. So that part is uncertain sometimes. So it depends on what we look at funny. If funny is if people in the audience laughing, then that does not happen. People don't laugh, so they're just trying to be nice. But the funny part is if we expect something, if we think of something, maybe for an instrumentalist, we want to bring about a particular thing, and it ends up being something else when we perform, then that is something that we will not expect. So there could be a lot of unexpected things, but I don't know if anything funny could happen. And sometimes the Rasikas are really excited, so they just bombard you with songs. And, it has happened sometimes. If somebody's one of my concerts, I remember one person just interrupted the concert. They came up to the stage and they were so happy, so he had expressed his happiness to us.
Oh,
so right
like
in
the middle of a concert.
Yeah, so they had to guard themselves. congratulate, and they took and they spoke. All this is very much. It is very. It is a lot of excitement, and it changes the whole mood of the play. So if that's good enough, then I think that has happened, and that.
And on the lines of Rasikas just bombarding you, can we request you to perform something for us? It would be our honor to listen to you.
Sure. It would be my pleasure.
Thank you.